It is ending, or more precisely, it has just ended. The promotion that Tesla is doing for the Model Y has now finished. You can no longer get 1% interest rate for financing if you get the vehicle. But I think Tesla is probably going to release something similar again, because if you look at other markets, we can see that in Hong Kong, you can get 0% APR for Model Y inventory vehicles, and we are not really seeing widespread price cuts. We saw one in Denmark just recently, but we are not seeing that across Tesla's across different markets that Tesla has. The strategy has shifted, it seems, to focus on lower financing rates, and that is spreading quickly. So we're seeing that in Hong Kong, and China earlier also did something similar. FSD now also has different modes. Well, it's coming, different modes. I don't think anything is really different. Right now we have chill, standard, and then aggressive. So the aggressive one is just going to be renamed to Hurry, I guess. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything different about this. Nothing that I have seen, but this does make sense to me. FSD is too aggressive for me, even chill mode. Can we have turtle mode that is super duper cautious and slow? The perception of FSD safety will is challenged by rapid acceleration and jerky moves. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I would rather have the car just drive a bit slower, but be a bit smoother. Then I wouldn't mind turning it on when I have passengers with me as well. Anytime I have passengers right now, unless I have explained in detail what FSD is and how it does it, unless I tell them, hey, look, I'm going to show it to you now, but just keep in mind, it can sometimes do some silly things. My main thing right now over here in Vancouver, Canada, is in Canada, we have these flashing green lights. And when FSD sees it, it sort of slows down and then speeds up and slows down and speeds up. And it's sort of a slightly jerky move. So if you are a passenger, especially in the backseat, if you're not looking at the road, you're just like, what is going on? So I often or usually, well, actually, I never use FSD if I have passengers that to which I have not explained what FSD is, or if I'm trying to maximize the ride quality and not have any sudden jerky movements. But I have to say this, the latest FSD version, 12.3.6, I like it. It's compared to 12.3.3, I do see some improvements in some areas, and the jerkiness that I'm talking about, it's not as bad as it was before for me specifically. And the yellow traffic lights, to me, yeah, I had a few not such great experiences with the older versions, but this one, it can be a little bit still aggressive, but overall, I'm fairly happy with it. Anyway, guys, this is a live, I'm recording this live. If you haven't clicked the like button, make sure to do so, and make sure to subscribe. I will do more exclusive videos on this channel, so if you don't want to miss them, make sure to subscribe. Coming up next, oh yeah, the turtle mode, I would definitely like that for sure, 100%. I wouldn't use it often, but sometimes I would use it. Like if I want to really just relax and just drive calmly, because right now with FSD, even on the chill mode, it doesn't really drive slow. I mean, it doesn't drive very fast, but I wouldn't call it a really slow driver. The distance between the cars still it's comfortable if you think it's doing the right thing, but if it does something silly, it's a bit, I would like that distance to be a bit further from other vehicles, and I would just like it to start doing things just a tiny bit sooner. Like if it needs to brake for something, just start braking just a little bit sooner in chill mode. In aggressive mode, normal mode, it's fine. Here's an interesting idea, says Bradford. If miles per critical disengagement goes from 300 miles to 15,000 miles over the next two versions, it will take a year for the normal driver to encounter a critical disengagement situation. In my opinion, it will be very hard to stay truly vigilant in this situation. I don't think he's wrong. I think he's right. But at that point, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. And because of more and more and more and more data, it will still keep improving. Tesla FSD subscription is an essential road trip companion. Makes life much easier, says Omar. This is in response to Danielle, who subscribed to FSD for the drive to her new home in Texas. Congratulations. Heading there today from Los Angeles. Wow, that's going to be a long drive. On long drives, you definitely want to have FSD. It's great for that. Kelly says, going to seem insane that we let humans drive in retrospect. And yeah, there's a little conversation here. Good human drivers are rare and amazing, but computers will be much, much safer and more consistent than the best humans. Absolutely. Omar continues here. Having some technical difficulties. I'm going to reload this. This is pretty cool. Tesla API lets you turn on guest mode on a car. When in this mode, it will show the QR code on the screen for someone to get a temporary phone key, like what Hertz does. You need this software version or later to do it. So that's pretty cool. And then suddenly everything is in place to run the auto fleet. Yep. And Alexander says, and so few see it coming. Nick says, yeah, it's awesome the way Tesla allows guests to have full access to the Tesla app, streamlines the whole experience, and gives non-Tesla owners the full experience. I haven't really tried it. Virtual keys allow for end-to-end encrypted communication between your car and your code. Tesla doesn't even know what you're doing is between you and your car. Okay, I like that. Oh, check this out. This is a Tesla advertisement on Electrek website. Fred says, I never thought I'd see the day when Tesla starts advertising on Electrek. Thanks, Elon Musk. I'm now fully back in. Full self-driving is going to be solved by the end of the year. Elon is not saying that it's going to be solved by the end of the year this time, by the way. Elon was a genius for firing the whole charging team. Well, he is hiring back some of the people. And that's how you know you cut enough. If you don't hire people back, then you didn't cut enough. And he did that to make an example of executives that did not follow his suggestion to cut people. He wanted her, the leader of the supercharging team, to cut more, and she disagreed. So she paid the price. She got fired herself. Subscribing to X is basically donating to free speech. Let's go, he says. And obviously that was sarcasm. Elon reposted this video of Cathie Wood. This is a video from, I think, February. And yeah, February. And in this video, basically, she says that she wants Elon to be paid and that the judge's ruling against Elon's compensation plan is undemocratic. So she's fully supporting Elon, and Elon is reposting this right now. And it's interesting that Elon, I think lately, he's been talking more about the compensation package and voting. And I'm pretty sure that Tesla and Elon Musk have some sort of insight into how the voting is going, and maybe they're not quite liking how it's going. Or another explanation for that is you need to have at least 50% of the shareholders to approve the Texas moving from Delaware to Texas. You need, so if 90% of people, let's say, vote for that, but that 90% is still less than 50% of all of these shareholders, it wouldn't go through. So maybe that's why Elon is doing it. He's just trying to get as many votes to make sure that we actually move from Delaware to Texas. Next, Tesla has started sending out invites to their 2024 annual shareholder meeting at Giga Texas. Yeah, I've seen everyone post about this. So if you want to go, you should check that right now. How do you feel about Elon's huge package? Should he have a smaller package? Good one, Omar. Tesla, under this new compensation plan, Elon gets paid nothing, said Tesla earlier, the Tesla board, unless he delivers massive returns for shareholders. But the Delaware Court of Chancery says, how about nothing? Even if he does deliver massive returns For shareholders. Okay, this is one of the better posts from Omar. Good job. Good job there. Any Tesla investor should read and understand this to become less vulnerable to fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So this is about Elon's compensation package from earlier. And James said, I don't see how he could pay his taxes without selling some of his shares. He has borrowed against shares he already owns already. Even if he could borrow $7.1 billion against the newly issued shares, he'll owe capital gains tax on $55 billion that will be treated as income, and he can't borrow another $27 billion to pay it and keep all the shares. Can you imagine the interest payments on all that borrowing against shares, especially with the high interest rate? So yeah, to pay them, SpaceX and or Tesla and or Twitter and or Neuralink and or Boring Company and or XAI would need to become very profitable to start paying dividends, which is not exactly likely. So Elon responds, the deal allows me to sell enough stock to pay the taxes. The remaining stock must be held for 5 years, so it is impossible for me to cash out and run. Now, Elon can sell his previous shares, but this is still a lot of money in Tesla stock that he would have. And Leo Cogman asks, does this mean he would pay 53% income tax, so combining federal and California, so more than 26 billion or about 145 million shares at $180 per share to be sold to pay tax? Omar clarified, no, it would be between 1 to 6 billion, not 26 billion. There were a few more comments. If you like, you can pause and read. I think there was an explanation somewhere. And a lot of people are voting. If you haven't voted yet, this is your daily reminder to vote. And it's not enough just to vote yourself. Anyone who you know, who you think has a share, a Tesla share, even just a single share, call them, text them, message them. Don't harass them, but I mean, harass them in a legal way. Don't break any laws, and make sure that all of them vote. If you have friends who own Tesla stock, text them, call them, tell them, unless you prove to me that you voted, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. This is a collective effort. It's not so much about persuading people to vote, I think, because we know that retail Tesla stock investors are voting for Elon and the way the board wants. So it's just about getting more votes. That's what really matters here, because we know a lot of institutions are voting against Elon, but not retail Tesla stock investors. And now, compared to a few years ago, I'm talking about before 2020, institutional ownership is actually lower than before. So we, retail Tesla stock investors, actually have more say, but we have to vote. So vote, please. And if you have any social media, make sure that you ask everyone to vote as well, so everyone is aware. And some people just don't know how to vote. So if you have any friends, just ask them, do you know how to vote? Did you vote? I can help you if you don't know how to vote. So make sure that you do your part here, because this is crucial and it is important. Nate here says, it is imperative that companies, especially those likely to be political targets, incorporate in states committed to the rule of law. For this reason, Tesla shareholders should support Tesla's move to Texas. Yep, I do not disagree with that. And more people voting. Stephen Mark Ryan agrees with this statement from Dave Lee. Let's see what he says. I'm very impressed by the work that Alexandra Mers, also known as the Tesla Boomer Mama, is doing to assist Tesla shareholders who are experiencing difficulties with submitting their votes. She is indeed doing a great job. A big shout out goes to her. If you don't follow her on X, I suggest you do. And Steven also says 100% big respect. The amount of time and energy Alexandra has invested helping Tesla shareholders in this matter is unbelievable. And if you can, basically just do what Alexandra is doing. Try to help everyone, because it does matter, and all of these votes will add up. It could be a close vote, especially for the issue moving from Delaware to Texas because we need such a big turnout. There's an update. Tesla is no longer offering the silver Gemini wheel covers in the US and have made the dark wheel cover standard. Dark used to be $500. All right. So this is the new, oh no, this is from a while ago. Okay. So you get these standard now. All right, next. Following Giga Shanghai, Fremont and Giga Texas also changed the 19-inch wheels of the Model Y to Gemini Dark wheels. As a result, only Giga Berlin is now offering 19-inch silver wheels. Okay. The robot is not CGI in those pictures for real, says Tesla engineer. Oh, I saw this. Yeah, I saw this, but I thought it's CGI basically, or Photoshop. That's pretty cool that they were actually able to do it. Nice. Elon's mom made a comment about this recall that was announced. Well, it's recall. How it feels highly illegal when they call software updates recalls. How can they get away with that still? This is just an over the air software update fix. And 1 million iPhones, says Elon's mom, were recalled today. It took 30 seconds for the update. Reuters continue their 15 years of hateful and dishonest Tesla headlines. Elon is giving a shout out to SpaceX. Great work by the SpaceX Falcon team, launching 14 times in a single month. That's pretty incredible. This is important to us Tesla stock investors. If the rumors, I'm losing my breath here, are true that SpaceX is now valued at $200 billion, I think this means that Elon's SpaceX stock is currently worth more than his Tesla stock. Wow, well, that's quite a big statement. I need some water. Oh, by the way, this cup I didn't buy myself. Someone who works for me gave it to me. I'm not sure if you can quite see it. It says boss. Okay, right now it's not mirrored. I think a cup like this you never want to buy yourself. Otherwise, it just it says basically that I'm a great boss. Let's continue. That's great news for Tesla investors since it lowers the risk of an imminent Starlink IPO, which would cause some investors to ditch their Tesla for buying Starlink shares. Yep, this will be interesting. Elon is reposting this. This could crash access for servers. If it happens again, that's not a great look for access profitability. It would be really good if it doesn't crash this time. Oh, yeah, this one you need to pay attention to if you follow robots. So it turns out that this is true. If it turns out that this is true, it means Figure AI doesn't have required AI capabilities to compete, i.e. won't be able to make a useful bot. So you can see it takes this thing, it misses, see? But it continues the thing. And then eventually it finishes. So it tries to grab it, doesn't grab it. It doesn't know that it didn't grab it. That's a problem. I think the way Tesla is building the Optimus bot, it's training it with some understanding. So if it misses something, it knows, oh, I just screwed up. Let me try again instead of finishing the whole thing. So this to me suggests that the way they are doing it is based on rules, heuristics, which is what Tesla has been doing with full self-driving for some time before V12 came along. So yeah, this approach, I mean, it works if it's a very simple task, but the moment there is any complexity, it's not gonna work then. Chinese pure play EV maker Xpeng delivered 10,146 electric vehicles in May, implying a 35% year-on-year growth rate. All right, good for them. And I think that's it for today's news. How did you guys like this live stream? I think typically this would have been about 10 minutes of content, but because it's a live stream and I stumble and mumble sometimes and I cannot do retakes, it came to about 20 minutes. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.